because my bed is 40 centimeters. My CNC bed, not my actual bed.
It's the bed I rest my nuts on. 47.
Ladies and gentlemen, get luck for it! Europe Podcast!
Paulius, we're unsupervised today. No doctor in the house.
Finally.
We can say whatever we want.
Yeah, well, really, I don't think we know what might end up on the final cut.
Yeah, this one, I don't think he's going to have to cut it. It's going to be perfect. Just like last week, but we're still waiting on it, fortunately. Albert, you guys always make fun of me. I'm the old man. He forgot what day it was. So he was super busy. And on top of that, he lost a day in his mind. So now he's got to work double time. So he couldn't join us for tonight or edit the podcast.
Yeah, nothing ruins your Friday as the realization that it is Monday.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So I got the same crap going on. Might be a little extra irritable now because I got the same stuff going on with the charity build project. Like trying to get a hold of people. It's a pain in the ass.
I hope nobody bailed. And
no, we don't.
What will you do with the...
Can't bail on the children.
Well, apparently you could. Some people could. What will you do that there is no Solingen? Do you have a plan?
It's going to be, still all online in the same week of Solingen, which was, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think Solingen was like the 24th of October. Something like that. So, German laws that you can't run like a raffle for longer than a week. So we'll do it for 7 days online. So we're going to have to start. That's what I'm trying to get a hold of everybody. So we can start advertising and putting out like regular posts on Facebook and Instagram again. Get some of the American people and some of the knife makers to show their progress and hype it up a little bit.
How is it a raffle called in German?
A waffle? No, I don't know. Where's the doctor?
I mean,
wait a minute.
How do you know the laws then?
Well, maybe we should ask Mr. Knippenberg if you think he would know the answer to that.
He's not even German, but he's
so it's a needed shot.
A needed shot.
It's a needed shot.
Poor
guy. I don't know what the word is. Good thing he's got a sense of humor.
Fingers crossed.
So now you made me forget your question. Ask me again.
My question was how is it called, and what will you do? A week seems very short, and aren't you like afraid? You know, like just because when the Solingen happens, there is a lot of traction, and a lot of people are coming through. So getting the same reach online.
Yeah, well, here's what happened. Here's what happened last year. I think the organizers and even the charity kind of like underestimated what we were going to do money-wise. And we raised like 18,200 euros altogether. And about, 85% of that was all online sales. I mean, we made like $5 or $6 grand, I think, something like that. Directly at the show. But the show didn't like talk about us. They didn't really advertise anything for us. And we didn't get the charity to do a whole lot of advertising. They helped us with a lot of stuff, like getting things online, the ticket sales, and like having their own bank account, so we didn't have to open one specifically for the raffle and things like that. So it was a shitload of help, but not a whole lot of advertisement from those sides. So hopefully we can get some more this year. We were supposed to be in the knife guide. When you go to the show, you get a little pamphlet. It tells you the layout and where the tables are and all that stuff. And there was supposed to be like a full page about us in there, but the show was not happening this year. So we're just going to have to advertise it, like I said, and get the other knife makers to talk about it some more.
Yeah, maybe you could do on the Messe magazine.
Yeah, I mean, we got Faye to join us, so hopefully he talks about it on Knife Talk. And what's that other one? He's got the Fleabag show that he does.
The Ass Blast, something like that.
Yeah, Full Blast. That's the one.
Full Blast. Yeah, Mirror. Yeah, all those. Yeah. Well, when he's coming, do you have any ideas?
I would say when I get back, like August, sometime beginning of August, he had some stuff to do, and he's gonna try and get that charity knife finished for me so I can take it home. He's just gonna mail it to my parents' house. I'll be there the last 3 weeks of July, so if he mails it there, then he saves the international shipping, all that risk and all that crap. So I can just carry it back with me. So that would be the second finished knife.
That sounds like a great time to start advertising everything.
Exactly. It's like getting pictures out and
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit more about the makers. The website is up. The website is in German and in English. If you go to like the bottom right-hand corner of the page, you can change everything over to English. It tells you a little bit about the charity and about what we did last year for raising money and the people involved, the knife makers involved for this year. And we'll be releasing some more info soon, hopefully, if I can get these guys together. Yep.
Jesus Christ. For the listeners who are listening for the first time, what is the website address?
It's in German. It's called... This is kind of a pain in the butt because we have a lot of international people too, and it's hard for them to figure it out in German. But once you get the web address, you can change it over to English, and it's Klingen for Gutes. I'll spell it out: Klingen. And then we have, what is that stupid symbol? Like a minus sign. What do you call it in English?
Dash?
Dash, there you go. Dash FUER dash GUTES.de. You can also find us. You can also find us on Instagram, or you can go right to my page on Instagram, Knife Material, and in my link tree there's a link to get to it. It's probably the easiest way.
The easiest way for the listeners would be to go in the show notes, I guess.
Yeah, if I remember to put them in there.
Yeah, it's on you. It's on you. Everything is on you.
I know. Always.
If the charity fails, it's on you. If you don't collect enough people,
it's nerve-wracking. We've got a lot of big names in there. We got to make some cash, or else we do their knives an injustice. So, well, that was a shitload of talk about the charity, but it was good. What's going on in Paulius this week? You got a mail order, I see.
I got Ultem baby. I'm living the dream. Got some Ultem from you, and I got a G10 purple, just because I got some orders for making purple handles. I'm thinking of doing some Cerakoted blades in black, so that should look really cool with the dark purple that we have. So can't wait to check that out. It's, I don't know, it's just maybe magenta purple. I don't know, it's just dark purple. I'm a guy. Purple is purple.
Deep purple.
There is deep purple
rain.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but I had and I also got the grip tech. I am doing some testing to that. And that is enough that I will say.
Some vigorous testing. We've been getting videos back and forth in the podcast chat.
Yeah, some really vigorous testing. I just put it in the sun to see what happens. But it looks way nicer in real life.
Yeah, I also forgot to tell you, he just changed over to like pressing out scales in sheet form. Before he had it in blocks and had to cut everything and sand it and stuff. So that what you have is like a finished shiny layer from the vacuum press. You're going to have to rough it up a little bit with sandpaper. I think that was obvious, but just for everybody else too, if they get them.
I always rough it up before gluing. So always. Yeah. And that is actually a great segue. To I did a little bit of research, and I changed the glue that I'm using to glue my liners. And before that, I was using some no brand CA glue, cyanoacrylate, and I changed the brand, and I did some testing.
Wait a minute, you glue exclusively with super glue your handles?
Currently, yes, with a specific brand, and I did some. But before that, I did some testing, right? Mm-hmm. And I found out that you shouldn't use any accelerants because they make the glue brittle.
It weakens it, yeah.
Yeah, it weakens even with the quick set times. Another tip for the listeners: never buy the thin stuff. Always buy the medium stuff. The thin stuff is like, it's not even like water, because water has surface tension. It's more like acetone. It's so runny, it gets everywhere. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And especially if you are gluing woods, even stabilized woods, it soaks into the pores so quickly, and the joint is weak, very weak. And yeah, so I switched to a new brand, and the testing that I did was basically just gluing G10 to liners, and I tried just no roughing up. And basically my roughing up is a disc sander with 120p paper. So without any roughing up, it was super easy to break. So you should always rub off your liners and scales. Always. It was incredibly easy. Yeah, rough. After roughing them up, the liners broke first, and not the and the test was like designed, like the pieces were glued so that it should break at the glue seam, right? Because I got more leverage and etc. But the liners broke, and they were like 2.5 millimeter micarta liners, and they broke just near that. So it was a great start. And also I did some involuntary testing but I found the results insane. I was packing one knife, and it doesn't happen very often. I think it's the first time this year I cut myself, and it was a very narrow cut on the end of my thumb. A little bit. Yeah, I got that weakness. I cannot look at my blood.
You know why? You know why you passed out?
Yeah, why?
Because you're weak.
I'm weak. I am weak. Yeah, of course.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. You get any fucking chance to take a stab at me. You're fucking weak. Like the Mr. Look who is talking. Mr. Paleface from the Knife Show Austria. I cannot
I knew
look at my blood.
I knew it. I even warned you. I said, give me a paper towel and I need to sit down. I'm going to pass out in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, sleepy time. So I cut my finger. It was a narrow but deep cut, just because I was cleaning the sharpening choil, right? So I just pressed in my thumb accidentally. Yeah. And the first thing that I do when I get a cut, just super glue the skin together. And yeah,
stings
just
for a second.
Nope, not even stings. When you press it together, the wound, and just apply a little bit of glue, a thin film, and wipe it off, and then apply another film and wipe it off. It creates this second skin. And I came back home. It was the whole day. I got this first glue up. I went into the shower, took a long hot shower, washed my head, washed everything. And it's my thumb. I use it for everything. And even if I got my fingers, these wrinkly white, right, from the moisture, it still stayed on. Nothing peeled. Not even one bit. So it's really good brand of super glue, and apparently it really makes a difference, because I did some research, and it shouldn't maybe make any difference, because the chemical composition should be almost the same, right? But maybe they add something. And the brand it will be announced on our Patreon for our Patreon listeners.
Oh shit. Bringing the value.
Yeah, bringing the value, it's a great discovery for me. It holds really, really, really fucking well. I am really amazed with it. The curing time is great, and all the testing I could throw at it is insanely good. I don't use what the testing I did even with my epoxies that I got here, CA glue, especially this brand, it wins. It holds way better. So,
all right, so two things. The first is, in America they have something called liquid Band-Aid that's actually made for doing that, to like glue your fingers or cut back together. And the second thing, why do you use super glue for your handles? Is it only a section, or just because it's faster for you, or what? Why wouldn't you use a 2-component?
It is enough, way enough, just because I use mostly stable stuff. So the handle materials almost do not move, and it just holds great. If you are using live woods or even some really hard stabilized burls, and I don't use those often, it's just enough. It is, the important thing is prep time, and I just find the results and the amount of effort that I need to do is just way bigger value than using epoxy. Mixing epoxy, when you are mixing epoxy, you can mix it not that well, mix it maybe in different proportions. But if you want to get the really, really high quality epoxies, it is insanely expensive. And I'm talking like 3M kind of 2-part epoxies that hold stronger than steel. These do actually exist, and these are really insane. But these are way too expensive for what I need, and these are overkill, right? And I'm trying to bring the value to my customers, and I don't want to charge way more for something that they won't actually feel. And you would say, but stabilized wood, it actually moves and it will peel off, yada yada yada, right? Well, no, I have customers that are hunters that are using handles that are glued in this method with the past glue that it is a little bit inferior, right? And they are holding up beautifully just because I get them to occasionally sharpen and I polish up the handles, and I can double check, when you take off the handle scale, under the handle scale, you can find some moisture, maybe a little bit of blood from the animals, or maybe a small spot of rust. So you clean everything off, and inspecting the seams on how it was glued, these hold perfectly, right? So for outdoor knives, you just cannot use, any CA glue and just do no prep and just glue it up,
Dollar stores.
But you have to do the proper roughing up, proper. It's like painting, the prep work is the main work, and it sets you up for success.
So you use this new glue probably on that knife you were working on. It has a black liner and wood handle, and it's all like machined.
Yeah, and I did some testing with ironwood, and I glued up like 65 or 70 pairs of scales this past week and machined those. So there were a lot of opportunities, especially when you are machining away the wood. You are doing a 2D contour move, and you have these small offcuts, and you can test with these offcuts how it is holding up. Can you break it apart? What happens if I put it in the water? Of course, ironwood is super resistant to water, and it's so dense, it's heavier than water itself. So there is little to no effect. And just doing some stress testing. And as we talked in the previous episodes, you need to do your homework. And yes, even if you buy the best epoxy and you don't do the adequate prep work, right, it's gonna be shit. And again, like the level of prep work that I do is basically if you have uneven handle scales and uneven liners, and you just wrap it up a little bit with a file or whatever, and you have big gaps, and I'm talking big gaps on like 0.1 millimeter, but you can see the light, right? The seam will be weak because the glue, the nature of the glue is brittle, and you don't want to have this thickness that could be, be compressed or be expanded through time. And of course the seam will fail. But even if you are using epoxies and improper prep, it will also result in a bad result. And I even out my scales before gluing up. So if you put one on the table and the other on top of that, and when you are lifting the upper one, both are lifting a little bit. So it's like a airtight gap. No gaps at all.
Interesting. Yeah. Like I used to make segmented scales with different colored G10s and stripes and shit in them. And so you'd be gluing a lot of stuff together. And sometimes like in the bolster area to have like black, white, black stripe or something, you'd be gluing the liners together and it's holding the bolster and the rest of the handle. So would be a pretty, normally like a weak point. I wonder if CA glue would be enough for all that too, and you wouldn't worry about it breaking like when the handle flexes or anything.
Again, it's dependent on the use case. My use case is it is just gluing on the liners, no segmented scales, no nothing, just the liner. And how my construction is that when I drill the machine the holes for my screws, the screw head is resting on top of the top material, so it's basically also holding together everything as a sandwich. So even if the top layer peels, it cannot fall off, right? So it is helping to that. And there is, if you are doing a hidden tang, right, and you are doing segmented front bolster, it is getting the loads from all of the sides, from top, from the bottom, and even if you don't have like the alignment pins, the stresses are way higher. And in this case, I wouldn't go with the CA glue method. I would go with a epoxy mix, and some epoxies you can play with the mixtures and make a more less brittle mix. And I don't remember if you need to put more hardener or less hardener or what the proportions needs to be. But again, in my gut says in this case, CA glue wouldn't be good because it's brittle and you are applying stress from all directions, and the tang is I bet the tang is a different animal than scales with a liner, right?
Yeah, for what you're doing with it, it makes perfect sense, and it saves you a shitload of time. You don't have a big mess to clean up and wait for the shit to dry. And
the glue bond is so strong, and I don't want to diss you, right, or what you sell, but I was trying to peel off a G10 from a liner that I glued together. Yeah. The G10 layer failed first.
Very interesting.
But I was, it was a nonsensical situation where I was trying just to peel it off, just pull it off. It was like a sandwich, and one part was held in a vise, and the other part I was holding with my Nipex and just trying to bend it, just peel it off.
And you're holding with your nipples?
My nipples.
Nipex is
what do you
pair
use?
Of pliers, in case people don't know what that is.
No, nipples. Here we use nipples.
Yeah.
So Nipex, Knipex. Is it Nipex or Knipex?
I don't know.
Pliers. Pliers. Yep. Not a wrench though. It's pliers.
Well, when I think of Knipex, it's Armaturzange. It's like for like tightening and loosening. Tightening and loosening like chrome nuts and stuff on water fixtures so you don't scratch them. But they do make a whole bunch of other things, different kinds of wrenches and shit like that.
So I was using what you just mentioned, the universal Cobras. Amazing things. Also would highly recommend. The exact model will also be listed in our Patreon. And you can find our Patreon. Maybe it will.
And I don't know if you know this, but that Knipex brand makes like covers, like plastic or rubber covers and stuff that you can put over the jaws of the wrenches and stuff so they don't scratch if you needed them for something like that.
Oh, that is good to know. Yeah, I sometimes need that. That would be actually very handy. I was just using, leather or whatever that I had.
Gluing it on there with some CA glue, a little strip of leather.
It's great. It's super universal. And stings a little bit, but it's way better than Band-Aid. And while I was working for the whole batch, you need your thumb. You need to continue to work, and you cannot spill blood. So it was, and actually I have some still on my thumb, and I highly recommend it. It's not a doctor's advice, by the way. if you get it in your bloodstream, yeah.
Who knows what would happen?
Yeah. So my week was basically. Oh wait, I have one shitty story that I want to share, or maybe you wanted to interject.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was working on that huge batch, and apparently I need a lot of leather sheets. and I have a strict deadline at the end of this month. And I had a little bit of miscommunication with my leather guy. And apparently he couldn't make them for the next 2 months. So I had my hair on fire to find another leather guy who could make me a huge amount of sheets in a very short time. And in the month where everybody's on vacation here. And disregarding that, these people also have workloads of their own, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was hell of a week. These past 5 days, I found one person. He did a test run. He couldn't do it. So it was like 2 days wasted. And I contacted like 15 people. And I think yesterday we got our first prototype, and tomorrow I'm going to pick up the second prototype that I need. Just because I need those prototypes, we will laser cut foam inserts into the boxes. So I need the leather sheet prototypes, so my lasering guy can laser it. And he's going on vacation the next week. Not the next, but the next week. So I have 1 week for him to do that. So yeah, it was something. It was the hardest. This project seems like the hardest thing that I have ever done. There is a shit ton of stress, huge deadlines, and repercussions if I don't meet those.
A lot of new things.
Yeah, and it's super fun. It's scary, stressful, but I never felt more alive. So yeah, that was my week. Stressful. Sorry for the people that I am not responding. I have full inbox of reels, memes, and stupid shit from other knife makers. But Jesus Christ, I will work night and day now to get everything done. And I have a shit ton of heat treating to do. While I was doing that, Keith, I thought of maybe a short topic to talk about. You are like in a position of being a distributor, right? You are distributing materials, but basically you are working with other businesses in a B2B manner, and you are serving clients, right?
Yes, as well as just regular private knife makers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like you are doing like collaborations with Ox Tools and stuff like that. And with me? Oh, right, with me. And
Baltic Blade Varnish. You forgot about it already?
You totally forgot. That's embarrassing.
Okay.
So, for me, from a maker standpoint, I have this one distributor. I won't say in what country, right? But he wants to distribute my knives. And he says that he wants to be exclusive. So he's the only one who is distributing my knives in that country. That is, we'll say, native, right? You can sell maybe, from other countries can sell to that country too, but, it's just region locked.
Yeah.
For you as a distributor, right? What is your thought process? What you could provide for me as a supplier, like, right? Let's say you are this distributor and you say, I want to distribute only in Austria, your knives. What could you offer?
So you want me to pretend like I'm this guy that's coming to you. What am I going to offer you?
Yeah, because you have this like full bag, like luggage of knowledge from being a distributor. And if you want like to be exclusive, like maybe a new handle material, and you want to be like the only one distributor in Europe of that handle material, what's your approach to that as a distributor? What would you expect from the seller as a me? And what could you maybe offer, or what's your thought process?
I mean, if I was coming to you, I should already know pretty much everything about you and your knives. If I'm gonna try and make you an offer, I think the question should be the other way around. What are you expecting from the guy? What do you want from him, or why would you give away exclusive rights only to one area? How does that benefit you as this guy? Does he have such a good reach and a big community of like repeat customers that are going to buy from you, or are you shooting yourself in the foot and like losing sales yourself to this country? Like, could you sell more than he can?
That is my exact thought process. But there are things that I maybe do not know, right? Being new to this game, maybe somebody could offer something, but I wouldn't really care about reach and the community or anything. I think the only valid metric would be sales, right?
Yeah.
And how they achieve the sales, it's up to them. If they do YouTube reviews, if they send out to influencers, they buy the product from me, and they can do it whatever they want. They can send it for free bono, to any influencer, and they do influencing. Maybe they do fairs in their country, and they go there and they sell my shit. So it's just basically I would be interested in sales, right? And if, like in this case, the person is the very first person that it is contacting me from that country, right? So I have no other contracts and no other contacts, or like it's a new market for me. So my thinking goes, right, I'm giving away a little bit of my freedom. What if like they want exclusivity for the next year, right? And if they do good job and like the visibility is high, I guess maybe other vendors from that country would also contact me, right?
Yeah.
Because they saw my shit
Possible.
and saw that maybe it is selling, right? If he's doing well. And
yeah, well,
I just...
you said something already in there that changed like the whole dynamic. You said if he buys my stuff and then he's going to market it however and try and sell the knives. If he's buying them from you up front, and paying you for all the stuff, then what do you care what he does with it after that? You're making one big sale or a few sales every other month or whatever, depending on how many he sells. So then the next question is, how much are you discounting to him? Is that something that you can live with, the discount that you're going to give him?
Yeah, I do for like my new distributors get a smaller wholesale price, not like smaller discount, right? So they can just prove that they can move the product, and if they move enough product, depending on how much they order, like in the upcoming 3 to 6 months after they get it, then they get a bigger discount because it is selling well. And they, the first order is sometimes smaller, but the thought process is like, I do care what he does to the point that if he sells a lot, right, it is going to be a repeating bigger order. If he is buying and not selling that well, maybe, of course, maybe the knives are not so hot in that market, but just disregard that, right? They're contacting me, so maybe they are seeing the potential of the market and price and product match. And if it is not selling that well, so maybe then I am losing out on something, right? Just maybe I could being exclusive, right? So yeah.
That's the risk that you take. I mean, I don't know.
But
I think
the
at
benefit?
this point starting off, the benefit might be that you have like a semi-reliable income that is going to happen if he ends up selling and buying knives every other month. You need 20 knives or something, and it's a set income that you can count on.
I think maybe the exclusivity would be even another factor for them to be inclined to invest more in marketing.
Right.
So if you are marketing in Austria, the brand of Baltic Blades, right? There is no other sales point in Austria than your shop. So you are more inclined just to push my brand and not be like, oh, Knife Material is the best shop for knives. But you're more concrete.
Yeah, you would hope so, but you don't know how much of a drive or how much this guy's going to put into the marketing.
Exactly. But all the shit that I sell is always paid off upfront. Always. I don't want to worry about my stock in other shops. It's your headache as a distributor, I give you good price. We make good business. You need like one of my mentors and good friend had this saying that stuck to me like for the last 5 years. You need to let your distributors earn money. So you cannot nickel and dime. You have to offer a proper wholesale discount, and they are investing in your brand, so they still need to. Yeah. Retail is a shit business, so they need to earn money. So I don't know. It's just a dilemma for me.
Yeah, I would say maybe have a set price that you want him to sell them for, or like a target price, so that he doesn't way overprice them because he's the only one in that region.
Oh, why not?
Well, don't you think that'll affect your knife sales elsewhere, or that people will just order them instead of ordering from him, order them the next country over?
And why should I care?
Because then he's not moving the stock that he's buying from you.
Yeah, but
he's not like your repeat count on this income each month or every 2 months customer.
Then my other distributors earn more, and they put in the orders, just because the people, they see the marketing and they say, oh, it's so expensive, maybe I should buy from Baltic Blades directly, or maybe there is a distributor in Germany or Spain or France or Italy or somewhere else.
How many distributors do you have now?
Let me check. In total, it's also will be including the Baltic Burnish. I have 9, and I have 2 coming up, so it will be 11.
And you don't have any deals like that with any of those distributors?
It is the first one that has they want to be exclusive in their country. So I thought I might bring it up in the show just to get some feedback, right? Maybe there should be some accountability, right? What I would like to see, if they are exclusive, I would love to see what content do they put out, right? If they are doing marketing and content pieces, just send me over. If you publish and sponsor a post on Instagram, just show me the post, and I want to collect the data and see how much actual marketing and pushing you do.
Yeah.
It's also easy to double check in retrospective. Just go and scroll through their feed, right?
Yeah, easy enough. Yeah, it's a risk.
It's a business opportunity, but with added, and of course I forgot the word, restrictions, maybe, right?
Yeah, restrictions for sure. So when do you have to have an answer?
As you know, in B2B everything takes longer, so a month. So this month they definitely won't get a response. So I guess August.
Okay.
And it's the slow time for sales, the middle of the summer, so everybody's just taking the chill pill. But an interesting thing that you mentioned is a recommended price, right?
Yeah.
I try and make a catalog, a pricing list with all of my what you can order from me as a business. I list the MSRP, but it's basically the price that I list on my website.
Right.
So it's basically just recommended market price. And if they want to sell higher at that, they are well aware that they can do that, right? It's their decision, After they buy the knives, it is their property.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a deal like that with between me and Martin, that we do the same price for Apex Ultra when we sell on our website.
Oh, that is smart. That is great.
So we're not like fighting each other. We're in the same country. We're near each other, and he cuts his stuff to a little bit different size. I cut mine to a different size, but that's pretty much based on the package size that GLS will send in order to not make the shipping so crazy. They have 1/2 meter bars, and I think he cut the sheet the other way, so they're like 80 centimeters or something like that.
It's of course, Apex Ultra is for forging. I just wanted to say that you couldn't do that with the old school 440C, right? Just because of the toughness difference in the way that you cut the sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
We don't have these issues in Europe. We do our steels proper way.
Speaking of steels, though, you've heard of Pops Pro Cut before, right? I think we talked about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Last show.
If everything goes well, I'll have it in my shop in October.
So soon.
Yep.
How many?
A shit ton. A shit ton.
A shit ton. It's like an American measurement. A shit ton.
Yes. We measure it in the freedom units.
That's a lot. Shit ton sounds
a
lot.
One half of a shit ton. We're getting a shit ton. I'll take half, and this other person that I'm working with will take the other half. And yeah, you can make some cool shit with it. Some cool Damascus, or use it as a mono steel.
Maybe that secretive person will do some chevron patterns.
I'm sure if he wants to pay the price, he can make some, but he says it's too expensive.
Too much steel goes away, right? Cheap motherfucker.
Yeah. I also got my vacuum oven finally showed up. So I did a little test run with some blocks of wood in there and got them down to 0 pretty quickly. I mean, I think they were all at like 12% when I put them in there, but I just wanted to test it out.
What do you mean vacuum oven?
A vacuum oven. It's like a laboratory oven, a special oven for like, I'm going to use it for drying wood and curing the epoxy. So it only goes up to 300 degrees and has a fan in it. It keeps the fan moving and takes the humidity out of the oven as you're drying stuff slowly.
Keith.
Yeah.
A fan moves air, right?
Right.
And vacuum is a what?
A vacuum. It removes air.
Yeah. So no air. So if you have a vacuum oven,
right,
why do you need a fan if there is no air inside of it?
Because that's what's making the vacuum. You shut the door and the fan blows out of the chamber the entire time it's running.
So there is a fan, just a fan creating a vacuum?
Yes, it's not a vacuum like you're going to pull it down to 0 microns or something.
So it's just negative pressure, like some sort of like...
It's magic.
It doesn't sound like a vacuum.
That's what it's called.
Sounds like bullshit. Something fucking bullshit.
I didn't make up the name. But they work really good. They're really accurate. You can use them for tempering. Some people use them for tempering ovens.
It's fucking vacuum oven with a fan inside of it. It's basic, like a kitchen oven. A kitchen oven has a fan too inside.
Yeah, but it doesn't have an opening where it blows the air out of the chamber. It circulates it inside the oven when you shut the door. This takes it out of the oven.
And are the
so
tight?
You could actually call it a positive pressure oven if that makes you feel better.
But it should be a negative pressure oven because it's taking out the air pressure, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Vacuum oven.
What would be the? Well, that's what it's called. I didn't make it up.
It's so stupid. Fucking old man. Vacuum oven.
You all right over there?
What will you buy next? A microwave? The bigger waves.
No. I didn't buy, but I got something else too. I finally finished my Vanda Sander project that I had.
Ooh,
so
saw that.
I don't know.
I
don't know if you know what the Vanda Sander is. I don't even know if they're being made anymore. I think they've been discontinued for a while. Who knows?
Wasn't the guy on Instagram 110 Blades or something like that?
Mark Vanderwerth. I don't remember what it was on. He had a deal through some distributor that was selling them for him. I think they called it the BA Shredder or something like that.
I remember very clearly seeing that design, and actually, like, it's, as we talked in DMs, a disc sander, a disc grinder. It's a sander, right? A disc sander. It's such an underrated tool in the workshop. It's so good. Yeah, especially I saw a few years back, Noah Vachon was doing like 2 cents this rubric on his stories where he's just telling like his 2 cents on knife making and like tips and tricks. And he took his disc sander, and he instead of having vertically, he put it horizontally, so it's facing up, right? And you're just using gravity. You're using just gravity to even out shit. And I started using my disc grinder like that, and it is amazing. It is fantastic. Shit is very, very parallel, flat. Yeah.
So is that how you do your liners?
Yeah, everything like that.
Yeah.
And you can very clearly see when even G10 has some small waves, and you can even those out. Very good.
Yeah. So you obviously have a VFD, a frequency drive on it.
And I added a backwards and forwards button to that, and I have a story about that. I think I told that. But basically, I bought the VFD from Pavel, buildgrinders.pl, just so I have like all of my VFDs are the same brand. I don't know, just tickles my brain, right? And I wrote to the company that makes them in Poland is MFAL, I think. I wrote them to get the schematics on how to wire a button, and I was just playing around and I was connecting the button correctly in the terminals inside, like all the jumpers were correctly set, and it wasn't working. And I had no idea why it is not working. I was just emailing with them.
Perimeters.
No, I changed everything correctly. It is very easy to change there, to go inside it's very easy to navigate that menu.
Yeah. As long as you got the instructions.
And I accidentally touched my screwdriver where I shouldn't touch it, and I shorted it, and like a plume of smoke came out. And they wrote me back. Before I wrote to them, they looked up the exact version that I was using, and they said, due to not updated firmware, I'm not able to run it backwards and forwards.
And you said, no shit, Charlie.
I'm like, and I sent them the picture of the black plastic.
That's the magic smoke.
Like, yes, and I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter. I fucked it up. And they were so nice. They said, just send it over. We will fix it up. We will update it and send it to you free of charge.
Cool, that's a good deal.
And this is what means to do great customer service. Yeah. So and VFD. So I got it working, and it's just great. It's just great. You totally need a VFD to your disk sander.
Yeah. So I haven't even used it yet, but I got the disc. I think it's 230 millimeters, something like that, like the size of a width of a sheet of sandpaper. So you can just spray glue some cheap sandpaper on there and trim it to size, and then I have to always worry about looking for the stupid discs and getting the correct size and everything. Such a pain in the ass.
This is the best shit. And I also have found very good glue that is not the like M3 feathering adhesive that you cannot fucking get on Europe. Yeah. Because maybe it contains something and you can only get it in America, and it's crazy expensive. I found a great brand at the local shop store, and it works great. It works amazing. And
what is it?
That will be announced on our Patreon. Also, I will drop it a link. Look, guys, you can pay just $1, €1, €1 freaking euro, and you will get the knowledge. I promise. When this show airs, there will be a post on our Patreon where I will list the CA glue and the adhesive for the sandpaper that is not a pain in the ass to remove from the disc. And don't go and buy Worth. You know this brand? Worth.
Yeah. It's shit. Everything in that shop is shit.
And the glue is too strong. It's actually too good. The glue too good. Don't buy that. It's so hard to remove the paper after that. And you want to remove almost everything to have a flat and even surface again for the next sheet. No bumps, no nothing. So I got the magic juice, but it's in the Patreon. So, and the Patreon link is I wonder
who's in charge of organizing all that shit on the Patreon.
I will write it. I will write it. I will do it.
Sweet.
No problem. No problem. But you'll have to add the Patreon link to our show notes.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find it.
A given.
Great.
So I got two frequency drives. One is like the one that I used on my disc sander. Is some cheap Chinese thing. It was like 70 euros. So I have the same motor on my grinder that I have on the disc sander. And the grinder on my disc sander, my belt grinder, I mean, is actually like, you know, that crane that Albert has in his shop that runs on like the I-beams on the ceiling, those big cranes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a building that we were working at that was being taken down, and I took all the controls and the remote, and that's what I used for my VFD drive on my belt sander. So I took the remote apart and put all the shit in like a little box right next to my grinder, so you can change the speed and everything right from there, and the rest of it's hanging on the wall. And it's been running for, I don't know, the last 12 years or so. No problems.
Oh my God. You cannot call me cheap now.
And there's a difference between cheap and redneck. I just redneck everything.
I mean, I'm just efficient with my pricing.
Yeah, you could say that, efficient.
You don't want to get shit. You want to get something that is efficient. You get good results for what you pay.
What other things could you use to get good results?
Oh, fuck. Maybe you want to do this time, this special show.
No, I'll mess it up.
You always break my balls for it. Do it. Keith.
No, you got to continue. He's your guy.
He's my guy. You hear, audience? He's my guy. He's my guy.
Balthazar.
Who we are talking about?
Balthazar.
Right. We had him a couple of shows back. The owner and the solo maker, apparently, in Mini Hell Kilns.eu. He's the wonderful sponsor of our show, and he's the maker from Poland that makes amazing, great kilns. And I will do the line that, Keith, you love so much. I love my father. I love my mother. But do you know who they love more than me? Our minihell.eu kiln. Because it's so great. Apparently, if you listen to that wonderful show, there are so many gems, so good information. The kilns are not only a reasonable price, but it's so inexpensive to maintain those. And the elements have like serving time of 2,000 hours if you don't play stupid games and try to cool them down way too quick. But yeah. And the exchange one is just costing like 170 euros with all the bricks and stuff like that. It's just insane value in my mind. And the kiln that I have served me for 5 years. And it's wonderful. It is just wonderful. So when you're on minihell.eu and you are buying your next kiln, or maybe buying some heat treatment foil, not oil, again, use WF55 to save 5% and let Balthazar know that you come from this show. And now, back to the show.
Yeah, I wonder if Albert put his order in yet. He was looking for a bigger size. I think he wanted 120 centimeters or something for those giant bars that he makes for the chevron.
Yeah, and the lead times for the 1.20 meter size kiln, it's not that bad. It's 3 months, I guess, if I remember correctly, the show. It's not that long. Keeping in mind that the man has troubles with keeping up with selling the shit, right? He's not able to keep up with making daily the standard sizes. But yeah, love that show and love his approach to efficiency. So please go, listeners, and listen to that show.
Kilns.
You could do that one time, right?
No. But you guys are gonna have to take control. I won't be here next week already. So I'll be gone the next 3 shows, and I see the calendar's full already with guests because you guys got everything under control.
Do we need guests? Really? Maybe not.
No, I mean I can tell you who it's gonna be.
No, come on.
Every 3 weeks of come on.
Just 1 week it is me and Benjamin. The other week is Benjamin and Albert. Then it's me, Albert,
then
and
just
Benjamin. Just Benjamin. The last show is just fucking Benjamin. I mean, he can talk. The dude can
Vacation
talk.
time. Yeah, I mean, gonna keep it going for you. I can't make any promises, but I think you guys can handle it.
We can. Oh, yeah. I know your promises. Like you promised on the Blade Show to record something, right? So we
Do you
will.
want to
We'll
talk
just.
about?
Hmm?
Do you want to talk
Oh,
about keyhole handles, Mr. Promise Keeper?
yeah, we can talk about that. I am not working on those.
I can
You
tell. I can tell.
look, dude. I still have this huge order that I have to do. After that,
Yeah.
it is the
Priorities.
summer.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You are a higher priority, so you are
I
further
cut my
down the
finger.
line. I
Cut
cut my
my finger. I
finger.
can't do it.
Some CA glue on that, some tears. But you want to talk about that project, or,
No, it's
or
fine.
keep
No.
keep it secret, right? You know, you don't want any
Secrets.
competitors.
No, we can't spill beans right away. Keep
Spill
them
the
hanging.
beans.
They call it a cliffhanger. And
I should have prepared some rap lyrics for you to decode for me. I was listening to some.
How about this or that? You gonna bring it back?
Nah, I haven't
It's like
prepared
dead. It died already. It's been like 5 episodes.
It's not. Well, maybe we can savor it. We don't have. Sorry. Look, I could have totally brought it this time, right? But I was already late for recording this episode.
Yes, you were.
I'm in big poo-poo, big stress down with the order. At the end of
But,
June, when you come back,
But next, yeah, July. You mean?
yeah. Look, I don't even know what month it is. Albert doesn't know what day of the week it is. You have no
Lost.
idea how to find the gate.
It's like when we don't have Knife Show Austria to gauge how many days are left. You lose track of time. You don't know what day or month it is.
Maybe I think the new podcast name should be just Lost.
Yeah, it's been taken already. It was a good show.
It's terrible show. Sorry,
like it?
but the main issue for me, like when you look at the first few episodes, it looks like it's pretty interesting setup, right? But almost every fucking show ends in a cliffhanger, and
That was the stupidest ending. Yeah,
and I haven't looked at that far, right? But then when I need to watch the next episode, right? And in the first 10 to 15 minutes, it is getting resolved. The cliffhanger resolves in a way that it has no like continuity. It doesn't really matter. So you are looking then the next episodes and it ends in a cliffhanger. And then you're like, why should I watch the other show? Just the other episode. So the cliffhanger means nothing. It will take up the first 15 minutes to resolve the cliffhanger, which leads nowhere, and you just waste your time. Then you have like
exactly. That's
10 to
what
15
it's designed
minutes.
for.
Then you have 10 to 15 minutes of some real plot happening. And then the last 15 minutes are again a setup for the cliffhanger that leads fucking nowhere.
Yeah, that's what it's designed for. Waste your time. Get off, shut the TV off, and go do something. Make a knife.
Yeah, make a knife. Make a knife.
In the US, it's even worse. There's so many commercials. If you watch a TV show that's an hour long, you actually only watch like 20 minutes of a show. The rest it's commercials nonstop, one after the other.
Is the television paid? Like, no, you as a consumer, do you pay to see the television?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you getting commercials then?
To make more money. I mean, you're not making money. The people selling it to you are.
Then
hand
you
over
go.
fist.
Well, then you go and just pirate shit. That's all.
Or you just only do Netflix or whatever. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, that's all they do. That's all we have in our house is Netflix. I don't watch anything else.
Oh, the new debacle with the streaming services. I honestly think that piracy is going to come back. Just like when you have to have like a few subscriptions and you cannot find your show just because of geolocation, and then you need to buy a VPN to look at the show, and the shows are all over the place with different streaming services. Oh man, then the system is fucked, right? then it's just stupid, Then you just go to the Caribbean Bay, the Pirate Bay, right? Almighty, and you just download the torrent and just watch the whole show. Watch the whole show without any hassle. And I think in some sort of way, if you buying shit does not result in you owning that stuff, like services, and the service terms are getting changed. In this case, piracy is not a theft, in my opinion. You can go and pirate the shit out of it. And I honestly will say that I was downloading in the past like pirated music before I had Spotify, right? But I was also buying CDs for the things that I loved. I also was downloading ebooks for free that I really liked. I bought the actual physical copies because I love to have the physical copy of something that I love. And I think that people who are going to pirate the shit that they care so much about, they are even more inclined to buy it if it is actually good.
Yeah.
So I'm all about piracy. This does not help. This does not help my case of being cheap, right?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised at all.
But look, Spotify is great. I pay for Spotify.
Yeah, I do the paid one too. I hate that commercials all the time.
Oh, I couldn't live with that. And I also am listening to a shit ton of podcasts and music.
Yeah, I do podcasts all the time, and I like before you fly somewhere, you can download them if you have the subscription. You can download them and play them offline.
Yeah. Right. That is a great feature. Also, it's amazing. It's like, why should I go and pirate music now if I can go and listen to any album and it plays on the spot and it is getting streamed? Makes no like Spotify and how they handle music from a client standpoint is great. I heard a shit ton of people, mostly artists, are super unhappy with Spotify and how much do they pay. But what you gonna do? And the opposite is true with the streaming services and movies. I guess just all the people on studios saw the success of Netflix and said, we have to make our own Netflix so we can put our own shows there.
Yeah, one of the things about watching Netflix all the time is you just see like all the Netflix specials with the same actors all over the place, which is odd.
I don't care. I don't remember when I watched something on actual Netflix. Like, there are so many crappy shows and there are so little legit good. Like, it's filled with slop. Slop. So yeah, it's terrible. Too hot to handle or whatever. It's like, oh my god. Are you serious? It's like, I cannot watch another 5 seasons of that.
Albert sent a picture of us in his shop today. It looked like it was too hot to handle. He was sweating like a pig.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least he could have put on some pants, right? It is hot, but it is not that hot, right?
And he had 15 students in there too.
I know, right? And they were dressed, but you know, the VersaFlow is only cooling your face, not everything else, I guess.
PPE.
PPAC. Yeah. And you flexed with your AC, Mr. 24 degrees in my face in my shop.
Why wouldn't I have AC in my shop?
I mean, exactly.
Super cheap, and I put it in myself.
Yeah, aren't you like the guy that puts in ACs? You're the cool
AC
guy. Yeah, exactly.
Cool Keith.
Yeah, cool Keith. Keith cowboy. But yeah, at least it is not that warm here in Lithuania. We only had like 33 degrees today and it is already cooling down. Tomorrow it will be 22.
Yeah, it was pretty hot out today, but I was in my shop all day. This is I actually bought it for heat out here because before I was doing electric heaters because they heat up quick. Electricity's gotten crazy, obviously. So with this, I can do heat, and in the summertime, if I run it when the sun's out, it doesn't cost me anything to cool my shop down anyway because I got the solar panels on the roof.
So electricity is expensive where you live, or is it like in all Austria it's expensive?
Yeah, in all of Austria, it's gone up in the last year and a half or so.
Any ideas why?
I don't know, just everything. I think everything goes up when oil gets more expensive, then electricity goes up because all the heat pumps are in. Gas goes up. They just all go with each other.
Well, it's gonna get more expensive with the Iran shit.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, nothing. Just live. Just continue to live. Pay the bullshit, and if you cannot pay, then you pick up your pitchfork and go next to the government building and express your opinion
with the pitchfork.
with the pitchfork, with the maybe eggs, some tomatoes. Don't use potatoes.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Golden taters. So, you wanted to talk about websites, right? Or is it like too boring?
Yeah, that's like a whole nother episode though. Should save that now. We're already an hour and 10. I was gonna call it.
Oh, okay. Oh, want to do a short one?
Yeah,
we can call it.
We don't have the doctor. I think it was a good episode. We
Yeah,
had
it's
like
great.
one topic we talked about.
I got some
Basically,
interesting nuggets of information that you can find on our Patreon.
some nuggets.
Some nuggets. Well, for those who are not willing to subscribe to our Patreon, I will give you a hint. It is a very, very, very well-known brand, but not for CA glues. That is it.
Should I tell them what glue I use for free?
No, of course you can. Of course you can.
All right. I think you're gonna laugh, but a lot of people use it, and I think it's good glue, especially because I don't make a shitload of knives, so I don't want my shit to all dry up in between making 5 knives a year and it's sitting on the shelf. I use Uhu, the slow curing one, and
Ooh, I have no idea what that is.
How do you don't know this brand?
UHU epoxy, right?
Right.
No.
You can buy it in like every like home improvement store around here.
Maybe you have something similar, but only under different name. So it's just generic brand
Probably.
from like the hardware store.
Yeah. I mean, if you were making a lot of knives, it doesn't make sense. It would be too expensive. But like I said, my shit doesn't dry out. It works good, and I make or used to make segmented scales and shit with it, and I never had any problems with it shifting or drying or anything.
Oh, and while we are doing glue talk, another hot tip is, dudes, if you use CA glue, it actually has a shelf life and it degrades. Even if it is depending on the brand, it might be 1 year and it might be 2 years, but it really degrades. So if you buy a big quantity, always write the date when you start using it.
Even when you open it.
Yeah, it looks good. It smells terrible. It burns your eyes if you try to smell it and your nose. And it dries, but the glue bond is not that strong, and I have tested that. So keep that in mind. It might look good.
Doesn't it get like milky color when it dries, when it's bad?
No, actually, even new glues get a little bit whitening on top of it, but I think it's because of the curing speed. The faster it cures, the whiter it gets. And one of the elements that helps cure CA glue is water. Ta-da! Actually, you can cure or accelerate the curing of the CA glues with spraying water on top of it. And the faster it cures, the whiter it gets, but the more brittle it gets. So if it is white through, it's no good. If there is small white spots on top of the glue where it cured, then it might be just reaction with the moisture in the air, and it's fine.
Like the CA glue professional over here.
I mean, I did some testing, right? You have to just wait. I will kick the ass on the grip text shit. We will see how good that is.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Yeah, but currently, the impressions are good. Currently. When will we get some?
He told me 4 to 6 weeks, and that was like 2 weeks ago. I would say August, middle of August, something like that.
So pretty soon.
Hopefully.
When people come back from vacation, they can get some grip tech on lifematerial.it.
Then I got a shitload of wood coming in.
What kind of wood?
Stabilized curly maple from Mr. Brian Chadbourne.
Oh, right. I remember hearing it on Hustle and Grind.
That's right. Yep.
That frog gremlin is sending you some...
The frog gremlin?
Wood. Yeah, did you listen to the last episode?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was bad. When I was listening to it, I was actually thinking I gotta find a sound effect to just fuck with them and put it on mine too.
This was so, and the frog, it was so clear. The audio
fine.
was so clear. Yeah,
it was fine, great. But the best part was him like, all right, I'll be right back. I better go catch this motherfucker. Did you get him? No.
No.
As soon as I opened the door, the fucker stopped making the list. Of course he did.
Loved it. It's such a great show. Such a great show. So can't wait to get that.
All right.
Maybe I will pick up a block.
Yeah.
Close it down,
Yes,
Keith.
Yep. That's it for today. The doctor wasn't here. He's got some editing to do. Hopefully he gets last week's edited too, so we can get that out before you hear this one. We'll see. And you guys have some fun. I'll be sitting on the beach fishing for the next 3 weeks. Place your orders. I'll take your money, but I won't be able to ship until August.
Good luck. Good luck fishing with one hand.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Bad day of fishing, it's better than a good day at work. So
Use a net. Catch a lot of
net.
fish.
I don't know a net. I'm married. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.